welcome back everyone. We're back again with Boston United on our journey through Premier League football. I can't remember if this is our second season or first season in the Premier League. My brain has gone dead. If we go club. Okay, this is our second season in the Premier League. I couldn't remember if it was our third or not. We're going into our third next season. Thankfully, we're not getting relegated. We improved a lot since last season actually. We'll do reviews of the season at the end, but yeah, the last games we played was up against Southampton and Man City, where we lost both games, 2-1 to Southampton and 3-0 to City in the FA Cup semi-final, which kind of sucked, but thankfully we just a few less games to worry about. But since then we've been on a somewhat okay run of form. I thought we were going to get absolutely smashed in every single game, but we managed to actually hold out for a few results. We managed to get a 0-0 versus United, which was spectacular. I was expecting to get absolutely battered because we were on a bit of poor form. Whenever we played against the top sides, we kind of lost or just kind of teetered a bit. And against United, I think they had something like 20 shots. Yeah, they had about 20 shots. We had 6, one on target. Then we went to Swansea, and Zimmerman and Haganu once again linked up and both got goals, as per usual. Went to Liverpool, lost 2-1, kind of sucked. They went ahead early, then we equalised, and then Firmino got a goal, and it was the most basic FM goal. It was his first goal of the season, and it was so frustrating. But looking at the stats, it was actually quite similar. They had a few, I want to say about 3 or 4 shots, like in quick succession, like the last 5 minutes. So otherwise, it was pretty much neck and neck for the entire game. Same kind of shots on target, around the same kind of. Well, we actually had a shitload of fouls on hindsight. And then possession was kind of the same, or we were kind of more dominant in possession, but we did pretty well, surprisingly. Then we went up against Chelsea, lost 2-0. Skriniar scored, and Dominic Alagier, however you say his name, yep, he's just spectacular. And then we went up against Man City, and I was expecting to get absolutely smashed here, but yeah, Jake Doyle got a penalty. Sergei Rechenishtikov scored, and also what's his name, Manda saved the penalty against Kylian Mbappe. He actually had a quiet game, which was quite surprising, because normally he's stellar. Like, I think he's 88 million, and we somehow got a draw that game, and I was like, crazy. Don't know what happened. Lazario got sent off, but like, actually I forgot he got sent off. I think there was like 1 minute at a time, so that's probably why. Had a few yellows, but like, we stayed in the game thankfully, which was great to see. And now we're up against Wolves today, and depending on how things go, if we win, and theoretically we can finish anywhere between 9th and 6th today. We're currently in 8th, but if we win here, we can leapfrog Wolves and we can be in 7th in the Europa League. And if we win and Everton lose, then we go to 6th, because we have such a much higher goal difference than them. And if we lose today, we have a chance of there's a chance that Arsenal could leapfrog us, but if it's just a draw, we'll be fine, as long as they don't win by like 4-0 or something. But yeah, let's get into it. We have a few players carrying a bit of a knock. David Shaw predominantly. Yeah, I decided to go for Poggi, which is good. He scored, I want to say, 4 goals this season. Yeah. He got a couple. I think he got a handful of goals recently. I can't remember which ones he scored against. And Gibbs also picked up a goal. He finally scored a goal. I think he went 15 games without one. So it's kind of worrisome, but he's like, his overall rating is still quite good. So I'm not too worried about that. Like, his link-up play is really good. Tommy Smith hasn't been great. We're probably going to offload him in the summer, because like, we got Tommy Smith to replace Virtue, and then Virtue came back and replaced Tommy Smith. So I don't know. I can't seem to drop him unless we can get some world-class striker in, or not striker, or right back in. And I'm also looking at a few strikers. I'm looking at. There's a couple of guys in the Russian league. I found this Mexican lad in the Russian league. It's a bit strange. I don't know why he's there, but like 5-star, like 5 stars, like top end Premier League striker, and only for like 20 million or so. Like, at his valuation, which seems kind of crazy. It could be a work permit thing, but I'm not too sure. He's got a pretty good, I can't remember his name, so I'll have to find him later on. Go over scouting him, and anyways, yeah, should we get into it? I'm going to keep the team relatively the same. I was considering dropping Shaw for Oberon, but Shaw is pretty much a like full, I And I think the only thing it was I think it wasn't a calf injury or anything. It wasn't to do with legs. It was something upper body, so he should be fine to play through it. Yeah, not doing too bad. And also then we'll be able to hop into transfers for next window, which would be great. Because this, oh, they have Anthony Rebic. It's not bad. I actually was looking at, what's his face, Luka Jovic. Unfortunately, he's gone shite in this game. He hasn't carried on his usual progression, and he's kind of like a championship level player, rather than his usual top end striker. Assistant, don't answer that. But yeah, the team's doing pretty well. They still have Connor Cody. Wow, he's still kicking around there. 33 years old. Jesus. Harry Winks. Come on, lads, let's create something here and get ourselves a win. And Jake Doyle with another goal. Like, he scored, ironically, he scored like 3 or 4 at the start of the season, and then nothing, and now he's scoring goals again at the end of the season. So he's good on his high status and everything, which is good. Actually, all of our midfielders are wanted by clubs in around us, so it's going to be interesting if anyone comes in for him. I might sell Perez if anyone wants him, but other than that, we might just bring in someone to strengthen the squad a bit more. Oh, they also have the Amiri guy. We might look at him. I want a replacement for Perez, and he's a little bit older, so he could be get him at a cheap price, or I'd do him in a swap deal or something. Not too bad. We're uncautious, but I might keep it on it. I'm not too sure. Ooh, that was close. Set pieces are our kryptonite this season. I know so many FM YouTubers are saying, oh, like, corners are dead and set pieces are dead, but like, we constantly concede from them. I don't know what they're on about. They're starting to get a lot of possession. I'm not really liking that, so we'll go balanced and see can we kind of build into the game a bit. Han Kwang Song, North Korean, 30 million striker. Ooh. 48 goals in 75 appearances. I'd say seems quite low. Normally they kind of, their games tend to be rigged, but I suppose it's not going to be rigging them in FM. Most time, whoever they play against, they just pay to win. Or they say, oh yeah, we'll play in here, but you have to let us win. Wow, that was some strike by Hagnew, and linked up again with Zimmerman. They seem to have some sort of connection. How far out was that? Like 35 yards? Jesus. Like very much in the same place as Doyle's goal. Not bad. Both of our midfielders are scoring. Actually, only Narky doesn't really score that many goals. What's his name? He's not even on the bench, is he? No, he's not. Oh, he's injured, actually, that's what it is. I forget his name now. Harper, he also scored a few goals. I think he has like 4 or 5. He picked up a slip disc injury. That's the classic thing you always see from Doyle. Picks up the ball outside the box and then just kind of runs in and then shoots and just like flies off that way. Sometimes it goes into the back of the net, but most of the time it doesn't. Very happy with things are going. Keep it up. Yeah, but nothing to complain about. I suppose the way they're playing actually plays into our formation perfectly, because we have the width. The fuck was that bowler? Picked one knock, bruised ankle. We'll leave him for a minute or two. See how this goes. Yeah, because the way their formation is set up is very deep. That's probably why they have a lot of possession if they're not letting us get onto it. And Poggy's come off. Potential foot injury. It's only a bruise though, which is strange. Sure, we'll put Noah Jean up top. I'll probably end up selling him in the summer as well. I'm not too sure. He can play a deep blank forward. He's got the pace and the size for it, so he's kind of a like-for-like replacement for press play for Poggy, so it's not too worrisome. And we have a corner. Lovely. Okay. I find sometimes if I make those changes and you press play and it doesn't do it, it can sometimes reset itself. It's done to me like 2 or 3 times this season. I lost like a half an hour trying to figure out why, or not realizing that the game was playing and it was going on for full length. Oh, off the line save. Probably bring on Gibbs for bowler, probably 75 minutes. And yeah, it'll probably be that, and maybe bring on Perez just for some extra legs in midfield. I said 75, but I'm going to do it 67, just so I can just make shit up on the fly as I go. Jesus, it's bloody pinball at the moment. Off the bar, off the post, off the defender. Ooh, this Girona and lad is having a stellar game. Even though they're 2-0 down, they could easily be about so much more. So we got a free kick now. Not doing too bad. For us only having 40% possession, it's surprising that we're winning 2-0. I'll make a final change. I think I'll bring on Perez for Harty. I'll swap him up to an advanced playmaker. He's not his preferred role, but I don't want to change up the dynamic of having a 3-man midfield. And Perez is I think he's like 6 foot, 5'10", something around there. 5'10", yeah. So it's kind of like almost a similar size. So he still has that kind of physicality to stand in there and just soak up some of the pressure. He's not doing too bad. He's only played, I want to say like 10 games this season, but he's done his job when we needed him. Ooh, Pedro Diaz. Why do you do this? Oh, they've gone 3 up top. Shite. Okay. Ooh, no. We'll go defensive for the last few minutes. See if we can hold out, get a result, and get ourselves into a qualification spot. Or if we can get a goal here. Come on, Gibbs. Nope. Oh, crap. Oh, we should be safe. There's 5 minutes left. That should be it, hopefully. Oh, he's offside. Like, fuck. He completely missed the ball. But yeah, that seems to be that. Lovely. So, with all the results going ahead, and so we're in the Euro Cup, definitely. So now it's whether or not we're in 6th or 7th. Which is bloody ridiculous. 6th. Oh my god, they lost. Who did they play against? Huddersfield. Where are Huddersfield? Jesus, they lost. I suppose Huddersfield needed a win. Who went down? West Ham, Bournemouth, and Derby. Jesus. I was expecting Bournemouth to stay up because they were quite strong last season. And there was someone else in the mix before. It might have been Huddersfield, actually. Yeah, they were quite low for a while. Strange Huddersfield, because they finished quite high last season. But yeah, we came 6th. And let's just to remind us where our season preview was expecting us. We were expected to get relegated. And there was only one team that was that was expected to get relegated, got relegated. So, geez, West Ham 12th, and they finished 18th. And Bournemouth 14th. They got relegated. That's surprising. 1001 and we came 6th. Arsenal came like 9th, I think. Poggy's injured. Qualified for Euro Cup. That probably brings us a bit of money. No comment. Doyle was good. Superb. La-di-da-di-da. 34 million. Lovely. Or we're going to have a fair few payouts because we finished for Europa League qualification. I did not expect it in the second season. I was kind of thinking we might get there within 3 or 4, but who knows. Next season we're probably going to drop out of the Europa League. I find that it's always the case because I'm probably not. I think because I'm going to have to sign some players, some few extra players for squad depth and stuff. And I think we have the numbers for what do you call it, for the what do you call it? I was going to say Nations League. It's not Nations League. Homegrown qualifications. I think you need to have 3. Like in the championship, you had to have 8 players that were homegrown, and not like just from the country, from your club. We have Gibbs. We'll have Dickinson, who's coming in January or in June, and we'll have someone else who's coming in. I think we just promote someone from the youth setup, and then they'll count as well. Jesus, bloody moth or something. Fucking annoying. What do you call it? But yeah, so that's end of the season. 55 points, 32 points off top of the table, and we were 14 points behind 5th. It's like it was close. Like there's only 22 points between us and the relegation zone, or 24. But like there was 32 between us and top of the table, so we were closer to getting relegated than we are to winning the league, which is still staggering how much of a gap there is. But 87 points seems like a good value. Now, just to compare to where we came last season, I think we came 14th. If we go league table, past positions, yeah, nope. Profile, I can never figure out this thing. I'm never good at finding where the bloody previous season was. Oh, here we go. Stages. It's always annoys me. You think stages and it's not the right thing. But we had a pretty good end of the season. So like we lost twice and then a win, draw, win, which wasn't too bad in consideration. We played, because at the time Watford were like 7th when we played just before we played them. I think they are. Yeah, 51, so they would have been in around there. So it was a good win because we went up against pretty much all top half the table teams. But yeah, if we go last season, we came 14th on 37 points. We got 37, which is not too bad because that's a gift difference of 18 points. Yeah, 18. So what was 6th last season? 66 points. So yeah, it's quite low in comparison, because like we got 55, we managed to slide into there. Interesting. And Wolves just dropped out. That's probably, they lost a bit of points. I always find teams that are in there or in that mix always tend to drop out. Yeah, so they're just out of it that season before as well. That's strange. Okay, they got into the 2020-21 and they got into the 2019-20. Okay, they've been in it a couple times, but I'm surprised how well we jumped. We jumped 8 positions. That is surprising. Actually, on hindsight, looking at this, like I was surprised by us. Fucking Everton were just below us, and they also finished in a Europa League. That's maddening. Okay, maybe it's just on the teams all kind of. It seems like the level kind of dropped and allowed teams just to pick up points, or everyone kind of wasn't picking up as many points as they'd expect to. Because we went on some run at the end. Where is schedule? Yeah, so if we started the season was Bournemouth, we drew with them, bet Derby, lost to Stoke. So like we were having some good runs and then we lost, then we had a few draws. Actually, that's one thing that we kind of consistently had. We always picked up some points. We always picked up teams pretty much always picked up points against teams that are weaker than us. Like I was going to say Stoke, but we lost them both games. We picked up points against Derby. We picked up points against Southampton. I know we lost to them the reverse fixture. We lost the away one, but it was kind of got screwed out a bit. Just the game. I felt like the game lasted too long. But yeah, we did pretty well in consideration. Like we always picked up a bit of form, and if we lost, the team always just seemed like just come back into it and we pick up points, which is really good to see. And even though we kind of had a weird tail end where we lost 2, drew 1, lost 2, 1, drew 1, which is kind of handy. Like we conceded goals, but we always performed pretty well. I think a big thing for us next season will be possibly getting 2 new fullbacks. I'm not too sure on Navarro. He's done okay, but like his stats aren't great. Like, he does a job for us. If we pull him up here, like, he's not really natural in that role. He's better as a wing back, and his stats are okay. Like, he's he's okay passing, good marking, good crossing, good dribbling, everything you kind of want him to be. He's okay at good pace, good physicality. Unless we go for like a 3 at the back formation next season, we can still use him at like left back. He does a job, but like looking at it, like he got 1 assist in 33 games. Like, it's not spectacular. His tackle win percentage though is quite high, 92%. That's one thing to keep an eye on. 81% pass accuracy. He doesn't get that many dribbles. I suppose his dribbling is not particularly high, and we tend to focus down the right side a lot because Zimmerman was our goal scorer all season. I'm not sure what his. Yeah, so we got 12 goals, 10 assists. That's not bad. 10 assists in the Prem. It's pretty good for his second season. And 10 goals overall, 12 in all competitions. I think we're still probably going to upgrade him next season, just because he's starting to lose attributes in key areas. Like, his crossing, his dribbling, his pace is starting to go. I don't know. I have him signed as a backup anyways, so it's not the end of the world if we want to replace him, because he's a good backup to have, getting 10 goals. We might try to see if we can just, I don't want to say blow our budget, but kind of blow it, get some big players in. We have a defender coming in, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm happy with the defense how it is at the moment. Let's go transfers. We have Dickinson coming in, and I forgot we had Thorgan Hazard. He's one guy for both wings actually, so he's kind of handy. He's coming in. He's going to be a backup player. I think he's backup. I think that's a contract we agreed with him. I can't remember what contract we agreed with him, but let's see here. Rotation. Okay, so that's pretty much the same thing. We're going to keep Bowler on as the left winger. Thorgan Hazard come in, bit of squad depth, and we have Dickinson as well. Another good player. I can't remember last we scouted him. We scouted him last year. Okay, so he might not be as good. See how he is. He'll just add to the English numbers, add some what do you call it? Add some flair to the squad. He's a big guy. He's pace. He's quick. His passing isn't amazing, but like he does a good job. 6.77 this season. He got 32 games. He played a lot of games. Good tackle ratio, so I'm not too worried about that. He's joining us June. But yeah, so the squad is already going to be strengthened. I'm probably going to offload a few players. I'm going to be looking to offload McGrath, probably Porteous, maybe Oberon. I'm not too sure. We might keep one of them. We have Teo. We're going to keep a hold of him. I'm not too sure. We might loan him out. I'm not sure. I brought him in and he just hasn't delivered. I know he's only played 6 times. Like, his dribbles are actually quite high, so it's hard to tell. Played in Euro Cup, so he has a bit of experience in that competition. He could be good for a 2-man partnership, just with that pace and his physicality and stuff. And his mentals are all really good. His penalties are quite high as well, which could be handy for some other competitions. But I suppose we need to keep strikers around because realistically, Pog is going to be going. We have Gibbs, and he's on the decline. Like, physically, he's still good, and like his mentals and stuff. I don't know how he's 2.5 star. It might just be because he's I don't know. But he gets about a goal every other game. Although he played 35 games this season, 10 goals, 4 assists, which is a bit of. It's not as good as his normal output. Well, I suppose last season he got 12. He contributed to more assists. He got 1 assist last season. He got 7 this year. So he's kind of on an even playing field. So it's hard to tell. I don't know. He's definitely staying around anyways because we need him. But yeah, I'm interested to see what I'm going to be doing. If we get any offers for some of the midfielders, I might take him. I'm not sure on Doyle. We'll probably keep him around. Although he's 27. It's a weird one. He actually has 8 assists. Actually, I might look into the normal assisting. So Hagenew's up there, 10. Zimmerman's 10. Doyle's 10. Okay, we might keep them around because he actually contributed a lot. And Hagenew was a bit of a standout. I was not expecting as much of a return on him this season. I was expecting him to kind of be rotating into the squad and developing a little bit, but he just kind of hit the ground running and was phenomenal. Like 2 player matches, 8 assists, 10 in all competitions, 82% tackle win rate, 85%. Well, that's just prem. But overall, like 36% shot accuracy. Not too bad for essentially a CDM. We were training him for CDM, but he kind of became more of a box to box. And he has the stats for it, so we might try him again next season in the same role. His passing is good, and he played a lot of games, 38 in all competitions. It's not too bad. But yeah, Zimmerman was good. Hagenu was very good, considering he's only 20. Doyle was good. He's a bit of the leader we needed, and he kind of proved it. Just because sometimes, like, his average rating was 7.07. He scored 1 penalty. His pack accuracy was really good. His win rate, his tackle percentage win rate was really good. That's one thing I'm really happy, because even like we played more games in the Premier League, but still like 90% is quite good. And yeah, we're probably not going to get rid of him then, because how long do we have left on his contract? He's got another 4 years. He's not going anywhere. Very similar stats to his last few seasons, actually. He seems kind of like our like-for-like replacement for Ty in a sense. Maybe not as physical or big, but he is very physical, but just the kind of all-rounder that we wanted for the Premier League, when Ty was a very good all-rounder for Championship and League One and stuff. His attributes didn't translate well. Like, he was good at attacking, but he wasn't good defensively and in possession and stuff. He wasn't your all-rounder. Well, this guy is. So it's a weird one. Like, his long throws is the only thing that's below a 10, which is insane. Especially how much he costs. I think we got him for 12 million? 7.5 million, yeah. If anyone wants him, I'm going to slap a price tag of like 35 million on him, I think. Just because I don't think I'll be able to get as good a replacement for him at that price. We could sell Zimmerman, depending on if we get any good offers. If we say like 15, 20 million, yeah, sure, you can have him. I can probably find a cheaper replacement, especially when we bought him for 800k. Yeah, he's valued at 10 million now, so even selling him at 10 million is still a fairly decent profit. What was it, like 12 and a half times? Virtue's still doing good. Narty's doing good. He was surprising. He didn't get many goals, but he played pretty well. Another player who had a very high tackle win rate, and he wasn't really my first choice. He eventually kind of just worked his way into the team, and I couldn't really get rid of him. He's done pretty well for himself. Yeah, he's not. I suppose he's had a couple seasons where he's got a lot of what do you call it, assists. It's only really a handful. Like, I would say 8 is a good level. He was in Bundesliga too, so that's kind of where that. If we look at Bundesliga, just normal Bundesliga, it's kind of, yeah, I suppose it's on par with what we had. We see. I don't see his tackle win rate there. Strange, but oh, why it's not showing? I don't know. Maybe it's just on this page you can only see it. But yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, sure. We finished the season, and I'll come back for probably the first game next season, or well, actually we might have the Europa League qualifier, so I'll bring us back for that probably, or depending on who we're playing. If it seems like it's going to be a dawdle, then I might not. I might just bring us up until we get to the group stage, or if we get to a tough game, I'll bring us back. Well, I'll bring us back when I bring us back. So yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.